X-Men, quickly. X-Men stuff, to update you on X-Men Apocalypse. Oscar Isaac's talked a lot about the Apocalypse suit, and he's really excited.
He's super excited for it.
There were talks that Ian McKellen and Patrick Stewart would not be involved in Apocalypse, but now they're saying that Ian McKellen might. So that'll be interesting to see what involvement he does have.
I think that would be cool seeing how, if they're, like, I don't know if they're going to a different timeline or if Apocalypse is going to happen in our timeline. Maybe he'll bring his people with him, but
right.
They're, like, in theory, you would think there'd be two Magnetos.
That could, yeah, I mean...
Like Age of Apocalypse, Magneto, and then our timeline, Magneto.
Mm-hmm. Well, yeah, I mean, and we know there's going to be... we know it's the majority of the movie is going to take place... At least the majority is going to take place in the 80s.
Yeah.
Because they've casted a young Cyclops, which will be Ty Sheridan from Mud and Joe.
A young Jean Grey.
Right.
Which is... what's her name from Game of Thrones?
Sophie Turner.
Sansa,
yeah, which I think is a good choice.
I think it's an excellent choice.
And then really like a lesser known actress named Alexandra Shipp to play
Storm.
But so we know they're going up, which I'm excited they've casted those parts, and those are all
important parts.
Yeah, and I'm okay with Ty Sheridan, and
yeah, I think he's very talented and good up and comer.
It's a good get for them.
And I'm excited to see Sophie Turner do something outside of Game of Thrones.
Yeah,
I think she's talented.
And I'm excited to see. Her as Jean Grey, I think it'll be cool.
Yeah.
They've also said that Rose Byrne will return as Maura McTaggart. But yeah, again, I mean, we know for sure there's going to be a big place in the 80s, but we don't really know what, if Ian McKellen has some sort of involvement, surely there's something going on.
Why would Patrick Stewart not?
Well,
I wonder what's going on there.
Yeah, most of what I was saying was that
that'll be interesting.
Because Patrick Stewart was the one who said that he thought Ian McKellen would have involvement, but Patrick Stewart apparently is rumored to appear in Wolverine 3. Which I think is also kind of neat.
Yeah.
Wolverine 3 apparently could be a lot of Wolverine and Xavier, which is...
That'll be really interesting.
Yeah.
Because I think Wolverine and Xavier have really good moments in the movies together.
What excites me is the possibility that Wolverine 3 might take place in the new future that happened in X-Men...
Days of Future Past.
I think that could be really interesting.
The future that was destroyed?
I think it could take place in the future that
they created.
The new future, yeah, which would be which I think would be really neat.
That would be really neat.
Because we could kind of see things that are going on, in that new timeline now. Which
we might get to see James Marsden and all of that again. Maybe for even for a second.
That's
for like a second or like some cameos or something.
That's a good point. I didn't even think about that. Because if they do that, surely they would address some like Jean Grey and his feelings and stuff like that.
Because Wolverine and Xavier would be the only ones who realize what happened.
Yeah, exactly. Because the Wolverine movie. Not X-Men Origins, but the other one obviously took place after X-Men 3, so...
Yeah.
And they used that movie to set up Days of Future Past in the post-credits.
And then the end of Days of Future Past, like, Wolverine was the only one, him and Xavier were the only ones aware that time had changed.
Exactly, so that would be
interesting.
Yeah, so it kind of makes sense, yeah. We also got trailers for Daredevil, the Daredevil Netflix show, which premieres in April, and Fantastic Four. Starting with Daredevil...
What did you think?
I thought it looked really cool.
I thought it did too. It didn't really reveal much, but I thought it was interesting enough to make me actually want to see it. It looks a lot better than the Daredevil movie that we saw a couple of years back.
I like the tone they were going for. They did tease Kingpin a little bit. You didn't see him until I think you saw him from behind in the trailer.
I'm really excited for got to play Kingpin. I think he's going to be. I think he's going to be amazing. And it looks like it's going to be a cool noir style, which I enjoy.
Yeah, it looked like it could be pretty bloody and violent, which, I mean, it's on Netflix, so there's not really going to be any ratings issues. I mean...
Yeah, they can they can get away with almost anything.
Yeah, I think it looks really cool, and I'm really excited about it.
And I think it'll even be fun to see the courtroom drama kind of thing.
Yeah.
Part of it.
Being a TV show, surely it'll have that as some sort of subplot, throughout. So, yeah, I like the look, I like the aesthetic they got going for it, and definitely excited. I definitely plan on binging it when Netflix releases.
Oh, totally.
Episodes.
When's it come out?
In April.
April, so look out for it.
Look out for Daredevil.
The Fantastic Four trailer we got as well, and it wasn't disappointing.
No.
Everyone's been bashing the movie, and I haven't been too excited for it, but the trailer wasn't bad. It took a different tone than I expected it to.
Yeah, it was a very, very, very serious.
A very serious and dark tone.
That's my biggest concern. Not that I think it'll be a bad movie, but only because the Fantastic Four was always really light.
Yeah.
I mean, one of the guys, his powers is stretching. I mean, it's a little silly.
Yeah, the Fantastic Four is kind of silly. Like, it has its serious moments and stuff. Like, it's about a family.
Yeah.
You
No,
know?
I do think that the last movies were too silly.
Yeah.
You know, they kind of took it too far, and they weren't very good. Now, but objectively, imagining, like, trying to take an objective approach, like, ignoring the Fantastic Four comics and stuff, I think it looks like a good movie.
I
thought it looked really cool. I was really excited from seeing the trailer. But again...
We didn't get to see really any power use except Johnny Storm.
You see Johnny Storm and you see very, very brief...
like Miles Teller playing Mr. Fantastic.
Yeah, he's like starting to reach...
But it cuts it off.
But it cuts it off. And you do briefly, like in a very quick shot, you see Kate Mara as Sue Storm with a force field, because it looked like Johnny was firing fire at her, actually, which is interesting.
Yeah. Yeah, I was going to say, you got to see Kate Mara, like, put her hands out like she was going to do the invisible force field thing.
Yeah, you saw, like, but...
and you see Johnny Storm flame on just briefly.
Yeah, and you kind of
it looks really cool, actually.
You see, like, a big thing of rock that's, like, undoing, so I don't know if the thing starts out as a big, weird blob of a rock and then comes out, and then there's, like, one end shot where you kind of see the back of the thing in a dark, but you don't see much of his look. He also looked naked.
The only thing I'm still kind of disappointed in is, I guess... One thing I'm not disappointed in, I still don't understand how they're going to do the Johnny and Sue Storm relationship.
Well, they have a...
Like, I don't know if it... Like, I'm assuming it's stepbrothers and sister.
Right.
I don't know, or maybe they're just not related.
Well, their father has been casted because it's... and I just blanked on his name, but from House of Cards, who owned the barbecue place.
Okay, Freddy.
Yeah, he's... Freddy, thank you. The actor's name I'm blanking on, but he is playing Sue Storm and Johnny Storm's father.
Okay, so maybe she's adopted.
Maybe she's adopted. Maybe they can just say that half,
or it's foster,
or I mean, even they can even just push it and say, oh, it's half sister, maybe.
Yeah.
And even though she's obviously,
it'd be interesting if they came from a foster home.
Yeah. Either way,
it'll be interesting.
That really doesn't bug me as much as it bugs a lot of people.
Yeah, it doesn't bug me that much. I'm just curious to see how they're going to approach it.
As long as he's got that personality of Johnny Storm, which is a pretty popular, character. I mean, I'm fine.
But the one thing I am still disappointed in is how they're doing Dr. Doom.
Yeah, because he's like a young hacker, and his name isn't even Victor Von Doom. I forgot it's something weird, but it's like Doom is in the name, but it's not just Doom, it's like Doom, or it's like Dominant something, I don't know, something like,
And he's not like King of Latveria. Right,
although supposedly they kind of tease Latveria, like the coordinates on one shot is supposedly the coordinates of Latveria, or it's like the spot where Latveria is, so they do tease that. But we don't really obviously know the details. And I also don't think that he looks like, which we saw like leaked set photos, but he might all be in a weird metal form. Yeah, in the shots we've seen of him, he's in like some green screen suit, so it's like they're like putting like some CGI suit on him. Yeah, and there's even a shot of someone like laying down, and I was assuming it was Dr. Doom, because you also see shots of like a guy walking and shooting electricity. Yeah. But again, it's dark, you can't really see very much. But then there's a moment at the end of the trailer where Miles Teller is looking down at somebody in a bed, and he looks like he's in a weird form, and I was just assuming it was the Dr. Doom that they're going for, but I agree, it's just weird. But maybe it's not what we think at all, because like, judging from how Dr. Doom acts in the comics and the cartoons and stuff, the man's a master manipulator. Like, that's true. A lot of times they kill Dr. Doom and it ends up it's just a Doombot. It's just a robot in this form. That could be neat. We know, like, so him and the green screen could just be Doombots. That's just using his head. That's true. That could be interesting. I know, like, the kind of rumored plot or whatever, and you kind of can tell in the trailer is that they travel to, is it called Dimension X? Yeah. Yeah, and so that's how they get their powers, and, I don't know the detail. But again, I do think that it's taking a way too serious of a tone, and maybe it's not. Maybe it's just the trailer. Maybe it's just the trailer. But they did all kind of say it was more grounded and everything, so I don't know. I think it does, but it does kind of look like it could fit into the world of X-Men. And there's rumors that because it's Fox that they want to combine them at some point, and people have even come out and said that it's not like not going to happen. It's not out of the realm of possibilities. I just feel like it's two weird ones to mash up. Yeah. Like X-Men and Fantastic Four. Yeah, I agree. But Fox has the rights to both of those. So that's the only two things they have, so why not take advantage of it? Exactly. Suicide Squad. What we've been waiting to bring to you, besides Spider-Man. Besides Spider-Man, yeah. A lot
a lot of Suicide Squad news.
I'm really excited about this.
I am too. I'm actually kind of stoked for it. I think it's going to be a fun movie.
Not that I was never not excited, but now I'm just getting more excited.
Like, we have a star-studded cast.
Yeah, Will Smith, Margot Robbie, Jared Leto is the Joker.
Yeah,
which, I'm still
a little iffy on that one.
But still, Margot Robbie's Harley Quinn I'm okay with.
I'm really excited to finally see Harley Quinn.
Me too. And I'm excited that Will Smith is doing it because he's usually so weird about his movies. And although there have been... So Tom Hardy dropped out as Rick Flag. He was cast and dropped out, which as much as I like Tom Hardy, I'm okay with that because
he was Bane.
Because he was Bane, and I don't like the idea of him.
And Rick Flag is the leader of the group, correct?
He's... I think Deadshot's kind of the leader. Because there's rumors that Rick Flag is actually kind of the good guy in the movie. And there could be some sort of twist. This is rumor that there could be some sort of twist that he's been behind something going on, but he's kind of the good one of the bunch or something.
Okay.
But they apparently offered it to Jake Gyllenhaal, but he passed. Now, one of the rumors I read was that in a rewrite, they were giving more to Deadshot because of Will Smith, and so there's a chance that maybe that's why certain actors aren't as interested because they downgraded the role of Rick Flag because they're trying to give Will Smith more, which that does make sense.
It makes sense because it's Will Smith.
And that happens a lot with Will Smith movies where he wants changes or he wants bigger roles or he wants more to do, like with Django Unchained.
Yeah.
You know, and then.
And Will Smith gets what he wants.
And yeah, it's Will Smith. He's still a big star no matter what his career has been like lately. I mean, he's still a big star. So the other people they considered were Joel Edgerton and Jon Bernthal from Walking Dead.
Yeah.
Who both would have been good.
Yeah, they would have been awesome. I would really like to see Bernthal.
Yeah, and then even Carl Urban was thrown in there because I guess if he wouldn't have done Aquaman, then maybe they wanted him for this because I guess they just really want Carl Urban in a Warner Brothers in a DC movie,
Yeah,
which that's
understandable.
Cool. Carl Urban's awesome.
So who did they end up going with?
They instead casted the new RoboCop, Joel Kinnaman, who.
I feel like that's a random choice.
It's
like such a star-studded cast.
Yeah, and it seems like such a downgrade when you go from Tom Hardy to Jake Gyllenhaal to, Jon Bernthal
to
Joel Edgerton, and then Joel Kinnaman is the last guy you end up with. It just seems silly, but maybe they just couldn't get anybody else, or he was cheap or something,
And like Rick Flag's supposed to be like a big character.
Yeah, I think like maybe he'll do. I've heard he's good in that show, The Killing. But I haven't seen that, obviously. All I've seen him in is RoboCop, and he bugged me. Like, I didn't like him that much in that. So, I don't know. I guess we'll see.
I guess we'll find out. I mean, everyone else can carry the movie if he can't.
Yeah, I still have hopes.
Yeah, it's going to be good.
Yeah. But there's also talks of Gary Sinise as possibly either General Sam Lane, which is Lois Lane's father, or General Elling or Ailing or something like that, which I don't really know much about, but...
I think it'd be cool to see him as Lois Lane's father, because that would easily tie his Superman into
it would kind of tie that
the universe.
Yeah, exactly. That'd be kind of neat. And then there's also talks of Ed Harris and Max Martini from Pacific Rim. He was one of the older characters of being Rick Flag Sr. And I think both of them would be cool.
Both of them are also solid choices.
Yeah. I feel like it would have to be a pretty decent role for someone like Ed Harris to do it. Max Martini's lesser known right now.
Yeah, but Ed Harris doesn't really do as much anymore as he used to.
I guess you're right. I mean, even Snowpiercer, which I guess this is a spoiler, but he was a very small part.
He was a very small part.
An important, integral part, but small. So I guess, it makes sense.
Yeah.
Also, I guess Deathstroke could be involved, and they're considering Joe Manganiello from like True Blood and Flash. He was Flash Thompson in the original Spider-Man trilogy.
Yeah.
And they were.
And he's also in How I Met Your Mother, right?
Yeah, he plays Brad in How I Met Your Mother. Yeah.
That's where I know him from.
And they're considering Jason Clarke, who's on the Big Uprise. He's playing John Connor.
From Dawn of the Planet of the Apes.
And he was in Dawn of the Planet of the Apes. He's a great actor.
Both of them would be solid choices for Deathstroke.
Apparently, Joe Manganiello is like the front runner because David Ayer wants to use quote unquote his people, and he was in Sabotage that David Ayer did, which was apparently not very good, but.
So is Deathstroke going to be kind of like the antagonist in the film? Is that what they're saying?
Yeah, supposedly he's like competing against the Suicide Squad, like because Deathstroke is like, I don't really know if I want to say an assassin.
He's a mercenary.
He's like a master with many weapons. He's got like.
He's kind of like a villain Deadpool.
Yeah, but without the personality. But he's a very Deadpool's a good. Is a good comparison.
Because he kind of has like a Deadpool look to him, like costume wise and everything as well.
Yeah. He's a major villain for Green Arrow and Batman, but apparently he does have affiliations with Suicide Squad, and in the film supposedly he's going to be like competing, and it kind of makes sense, and both of those actors would be cool. And
yeah, they would.
Yeah, there's just a lot of stuff going on with Suicide Squad.
Well, it's definitely a star-studded cast.
Definitely.
And they've talked about the Joker some, how he's like going to be seasoned and like scarred from his battles with Batman.
Which excited me because Jared Leto looks so young, even though he's like 40.
But with the makeup.
Yeah, that's true. But I was worried that he was gonna be like new to the fold.
Yeah.
And I like the idea of him having the history with Batman a lot.
Yes, and Leto's definitely a good enough actor that he could pull that off.
Yeah.
Now he's an Academy Award winner now.
He's an Academy Award winner now. Probably a Grammy nominee too.
He's EGOT.
He could go for an EGOT. He totally could. Look at that. There's rumors about what's going on with the Joker. Like he might be in jail for most of the movie, but could break out at the end, which would be good.
Well, with his ties with Harley Quinn, I could see her like
breaking him out. Yeah. Also, he might have like this Hannibal Lecter kind of thing, like, which makes sense if he spends most of the time in the jail. But everybody's like afraid of him, which is also I like that idea.
He's obviously been locked up in Arkham for a while. Then if he's like that kind of crazy.
Yeah, and if everybody's afraid of him, like those kind of characters are afraid of him, I just think it's kind of a neat idea.
Yeah.
But there's also rumors that Batman is mentioned in the script, and you may even see him in like surveillance video and stuff. And apparently Amanda Waller, who's going to be played by Viola Davis, is like interested in. Has some sort of like is interested in Batman or something, you know.
And she's the one who's tied the Suicide Squad together. She brought them together.
Yeah. And so there's rumors that Batman's appearance in this movie could kind of set up a solo film for Joker to be the primary villain in a Batman solo film. Which, you know, that's cool, that's fine. I still would prefer a different villain.
Soon. There's so many Batman villains to do.
Which granted, this could be years from now because Suicide Squad's not going to be until next year. And,
that's true.
You know. A solo Batman movie could be 2 to 3, 4 years, you know, who knows?
And I guess by then it'd be late enough that they could do the Joker again, but there's still so many options.
Right. Either way, the details we've been getting and the cast we've been getting, I'm just getting really excited about it.
Yeah, it's getting a lot better.
Yeah. I think it should be on your radar if it's not already. And there's been a lot of stuff going on. We picked a weird time to go on a hiatus because there's been all this...
I know.
All these big news, and I'm sure... We'll have plenty of more coming to you in the coming weeks.
And so I hope you stick with us for season 3. It's going to be a great season of Nerd Talk.
Yeah, there's
a lot of big things are coming.
Yeah, I'm sure we'll get Spider-Man updates and everything.
It's going to be a great several years for superhero movies.
Yeah, at least until like 2020, we're set for like some damn good stuff.
Along with other things to bring you.
Yes, so.
Thanks for watching.